Hey, what's going on, Savage? You already know who it is. It's your favorite sweaty Savage, your boy Mikey Savage 21, bringing you another movie review. And today I'm going to be reviewing the 2016/2017 drama film known as Sleight. And it is directed by J.D. Dillard, and it stars Jacob Latimore, Seychelle, Gabriel, Dulé, Storm Reid, Sasheer, Zamata, and Michael Villar. And this film was released by WWE Studios and Blumhouse Tilt, respectively. And it's about a young street magician who's played by Jacob Latimore, and he's left to care for his little sister after their parents' death, and he ends up turning to illegal activities to keep a roof over their heads. Well, one fatal night he gets in way too deep, and his sister is kidnapped, and he is forced to use his brilliant mind and his magic to ultimately save her life. Now, as you guys can't tell, I am super duper pumped about Sleight. I absolutely love Sleight. I thought it was a fantastic film, and there are so many things to love about this film, but I'll hop right into it and start talking about things that I love. One of the things that I love, and I was actually talking with my homeboy about this last night over the phone, is I like how they didn't make Bo, the character of Jacob Latimore, they didn't make him to be out this stereotypical black guy in the film who is just trying to make it out of the hood or trying to do this. They didn't try to throw shade or anything in him. They basically made him a mute character, basically. He's a character that's not necessarily acting black, and he's not a character that's acting white, and I like how they didn't portray him as that. Even the people he surrounded himself with, being both the love interest that he had and with the character of Angelo, the antagonist in this film. I love how this film basically encapsulated what it's like to grow up in Los Angeles and not a fairly wealthy neighborhood, what it's like to be able, for most kids, to provide for someone after the death of a tragic loved one, when they don't have anyone else. I thought the relationships and the way that the things played out in this movie were very realistic, and a lot of times I can tell that this is a fabricated plot. So one of the things I have to commend Dillard on is the realistic setting that he brought to this film, and again, he brought a lot of gravitas to this film as well. And getting to the characters, Jacob Latimore's character of Bo was fantastic. I think this was great casting all around. I love Jacob Latimore, and I love what they've been doing with him lately. He's been popping up in these small, low-budget films, and he's just been able to work on his acting chops and just basically encapsulate every single character he's been involved with. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I didn't see Jacob Latimore. I saw the character of Bo and how he interacted with his little sister Tina and how he interacted with his possible love interest of Holly. Everyone that he reacted with felt so real. And getting onto the characterization of Holly, one of the things that I was talking to my homeboys about was he was like a little disappointed that they had it set up to where he might be in an interracial relationship, and I told him that this didn't bother me because, again, you know, you see me do my video talking about that, but one of the things I told him, I like how they didn't make her a stereotypical white character, just like they didn't make Jacob Latimore's character a stereotypical black character. Both of them were neutral in this. They weren't acting too white and they weren't acting too black. They were being themselves. They were being the characters, and they were being exactly how you would expect someone to be in the current situation given. And I like how in this film, no matter what Bo went through, Holly was there to try to help him out. Same thing with Georgie. As little as she was used in this film, I thought she was a great character. That mother-like figure that Bo and that Tina were missing in this film. And then, of course, getting to the villain played by Dulé as Angelo. Again, he basically played your stereotypical bad boy gangster who likes to wear chains, lives in a big house, drives a Hummer, loves to sell drugs. So that to me was fine, but what I really liked about Dulé's performance as Angelo, because I've never seen him play something like this, was the fact that how he played this role so well that I believed him. Every time that he was on scene and every time that he was trying to essentially be a good foil for Bo's character or for any of the other characters, I love how he was basically able to just encapsulate that character of Angelo. Angelo is one of these complex characters that we get every once in a while in some of these films where he's not necessarily a bad guy, but he's a bad guy but has like good morals to him. He's one of those bad guys like Negan where he's like all about rules, but then he also has principle as well. Like, he doesn't believe in taking a life when a life does not need to be taken unnecessarily. He's one of those types of characters, and I really appreciated Dillard inserting him into this film. And even the character of Luna, played by Cameron Esposito, as little as that role was, I liked the few scenes that she had with Bo as well. So to me, this film did a great job of encapsulating these characters. Now, the only negatives I really have about this film that I could, again, harp on, but I won't, were some of the scenes felt like they didn't necessarily fit together. But other than that, it was fine. I felt like there were certain scenes that could have been stretched out, but I guess for the time length of the film, he was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and get to the end. I'm not going to keep you guys here for like 2-something hours, because this movie was very short. Again, Dillard is set to direct the Fly remake, so I'm glad to see him come out with such a hit, in my opinion, of a film. It really gives me confidence in this Fly remake of the remake that we already got with Jeff Goldblum back in 1980. But I'm excited to see what he does with that, because one other thing that he was able to do so well in this film was he was able to emulate and capture real tension and how people react in certain situations and how things tend to play out when you're faced with adversity or faced with danger. These weren't wooden performances, and they weren't wooden characters. They weren't written to be wooden characters. So that also is something I have to commend him on. But with that being said, guys, let me give my score, and then we're going to wrap it up. To me, this film deserves a high score, so I'm going to give this film an 8 out of a 10. I thought this was a great watch. I definitely recommend you go check this out. Currently, if you are living in the Alabama area, I think it's only playing at AMC's and a couple of Carmike cinemas. But if you're able to check this out and it pops up either in Netflix, Redbox, or somehow in your theater, please go watch it. But with that being said, guys, that's going to end this review. As always, thank you all so much for checking out the review and rocking it with me. And as I always say, remember to become a savage, stay a savage, and peace out, y'all.